So, how did I start my first company? So basically, I was a student in the last years of my university. I was studying software engineering, and at the same time, I started working for a company as a software engineer, developing this enterprise resource planning system called Microsoft Dynamics NAV. And basically, I was just I wasn't really happy with how the company was working. I imagined that I can do things better. I can come up with better solutions. I can innovate. I had lots of different ideas how to make projects happen quicker, like how to save costs and automate a lot of things instead of having to do them manually. So basically, I started talking to my colleague who wasn't really happy with the same things as I was, and eventually I lured him into the idea that we can do this. We can build our own company. We can do the same things. We can do project upgrades and automate them and streamline them, and we can pick up hundreds of projects. So what came in next? I mean, we both were software engineers, so we needed to fill our gaps with marketing and business development people. So I talked to my brother, who at the time was studying economics, and he was very interested in the idea. I mean, he also wanted to have his own business for quite a while. And I talked to my partner, who was working as a marketing manager and studying business management in her master's in MBA, basically. So we were both still studying and working at the same time, and so the four of us would meet up in cafes and discuss ideas. We went over what we want to build. We started calculating what the budget should be to even start the company, and whether we need extra funding, how fast we would get the first customers, and how much money would we be able to make when we would break even. And I think that was actually key, to find the people who are actually engaged with the idea, who actually wanted to build this company. And so that's how the first version of our company, Simplanova, was born. So we started without any budget, any funding at all. Basically, we just had time and some of the skills, some experience. Like, I had at that time like 3 years of experience as a software engineer. My other colleague had 2 years of experience. My brother and my partner had like one year of experience. It didn't matter. It didn't matter as long as everyone's persistent and everyone believes in the idea, and you can do anything. So what came in next was I got an offer to move to a different country, to come to the UK, and I got a contract role working as a software engineer for another company in the same space, in Microsoft Dynamics NEV. And so I did it just to gain more money and to lose the constraints that my contract had on me. Like, if you're working in a company, you normally can't just do your own thing, because it's illegal. They normally put clauses in your employment contract which say that you can't can't work in multiple companies at the same time. You can't start your own business, especially competing with the other company. So to start my own company, I had to quit, and we didn't start our own business, our own company, until a year later, when those constraints were off. So if you want to start your own business and you want to actually do the same thing that you are doing in your current role, forget it. It's not happening. I mean, you actually have to quit the job, and start at least working as a freelance, as a contractor, or work in a different area for a while until those constraints are off. So, but we were persistent. We were actively looking for customers at that time. So my brother started making phone calls. We bought lists of companies which were in that area. We wanted to work there directly from with other businesses. We didn't want to just look for random customers. We knew exactly whom we need to target. We were targeting other companies who were providing software development services in Microsoft Dynamics and AV. So we got specific lists that we could buy on the internet with all the contact details, like phone numbers and emails of those companies that we wanted to work with. And so we had an initial script. We had a website which was listing all of our services. That wasn't too hard to start with. I mean, back in the day, WordPress was one of the most popular content management systems. So we set up a WordPress site, and we built a lot of information in it to be prepared for the customers who might be interested in our services. And then we had a script and the idea of the services that we wanted to provide, and we started phoning up potential customers and trying to convince them to work with us, because we could provide better value, because we had innovations in our mind. We had some tools which I started working on to automate the processes, to make those specific upgrade projects quicker and easier. And so we got the first project only after like 9 or 10 months after the initial phone calls. It was quite hard at the beginning because we didn't have any money, and so my brother was doing it for 10 months without getting paid anything. And even afterwards, we didn't get paid anything. We hired the first employee to work on our second or third project, but at the beginning, me and my colleague from the previous company, we were doing the projects ourselves, because we knew how to do it, because we had 2 and 3 years of experience in the area. But the skill set that we had, the team is very important when you start your own business, because you need to cover all the areas. So you need to be able to do the marketing, to do the business development, to do the service that you want to provide, or find people who can do the service that you are going to provide. And to top it all off, you have to stand out. You have to be better than your competitors. If you have any. If you don't have competitors, then you're facing another issue. How do you stand out so your value proposition is understood, so people buy into your idea? So if it's so new that no one has done it before, how are you going to convince people that it's useful, that it's needed? Because they probably have multiple alternatives how to do the same thing. And of course, there's always luck. There's always luck. We were lucky to start when there went a lot of competitors in the area. Our main competitor was the company that we worked for before, so we knew what their business model is, how they behave, what their downsides are. So we could talk to some of their previous customers, but most of the time we would be able to sell our services to companies they haven't even reached before. So the market was just big enough for both companies. And eventually we were struggling, but we started hiring more people, getting more projects, evolving our tools. So 5 years fast forward, the company has grown to 20 people. I think it's now 30 people, and I've already sold my shares. I no longer have any stakes in it. That was a very successful business venture. So if you have any questions about how to start with your own business, let me know in the comments section, and I will tell you my story and how I moved forward, or maybe dive into more details on this particular business in the upcoming videos. So please subscribe and stay tuned.